Hello and welcome to Sports Today. I'm Gargi Raut. From cricket to F1 to gymnastics to football, I bring you the morning wrap. To begin with, a lot of developments have been coming in from BCCI. The major one being the women's team head coach. Tushar Arothe, John Lewis and Amul Muzumdar have been shortlisted for the position, and on the 30th of June we will find out who the women's head coach will be. But another major development is coming in from BCCI, which is that Agarkar is a front runner and a favourite for the chief selector position for the men's team. In another news from IPL this time, there are reports circulating around that Jos Buttler might be offered a multi-year contract from Rajasthan Royals. Well, when you look at it, it is a very tricky situation for Jos Buttler to be at, because Jos Buttler's consent will of course be required, and also it puts Jos Buttler in a especially tricky situation because ECB will have to take permission from the franchise every time there will be a national game, which means it will also interfere with his national contract as well. And ECB right now, because of the growing popularity of franchise leagues, is trying to keep players away from such contracts with the increased match fees, more domestic league tournaments, but their domestic league tournament, the 100, isn't doing so well. So we'll have to wait and watch what happens, and whether or not Jos Buttler will accept, or if he is even offered a multi-year format contract from Rajasthan Royals. Nathan Lyon, the second Ashes test is underway at Lords, and Nathan Lyon, who was the hero in the first test and has been Australia's one of the best spinners in the history of Australian cricket, has played his 100th consecutive test match. He is the 6th player and the first ever bowler to play 100 consecutive test matches. Nathan Lyon also joked about it and said that because he has played 100 consecutive test matches, maybe that is the reason why he has no hair. Moving on to football, Inter Miami, where a club where Lionel Messi has recently joined, is roping in a new head coach. Now this head coach Gerardo Tata Martino has very close ties to Lionel Messi, and it's no surprise of course. And Tata Martino has already coached Lionel Messi in Argentina as well as Barcelona. USA's star gymnast Simone Biles, who took a mental health break a year back and stopped professionally participating in gymnastics competition, will be making a comeback into the professional sport. Simone Biles had taken a mental health break and said that at a point she was so out of her routine and so out of her mind, as in she was struggling with her mental health so much that it became almost dangerous for her to participate in the professional sport, because she couldn't focus on it, and it is a dangerous sport and could cause a lot of injuries. But now she is making a comeback in August at the US Classic, and reports are circulating that she has already registered for the event. But the US Gymnastics has warned that registration does not guarantee participation, so we will have to wait and watch that if whether or not Simone Biles actually does participate in the US Classic. Red Bull, in another news from F1, moving on to Formula 1, Red Bull has confirmed that there will be no Alpha Tauri in 2024. Alpha Tauri is a sister team to Red Bull. It served as a junior team to Red Bull for many years now, but now there will be a major brand change in 2024. New sponsors will come in and a new name will be given to the team, although it hasn't been unveiled yet. The team has gone through two major changes in the span of 4 years. Before Alpha Tauri came to the fore in 2020, the team used to be called the Toro Rosso, which served as a junior team to the Red Bull, and which used to be a place for the junior Red Bull Drivers Academy drivers to come in and get their place and kind of move forward to Red Bull once they were in Toro Rosso. But now There will be no Toro Rosso Alpha Tauri from 2024. It will be given a new brand name, new investors will come in, and we will see a major rebranding in the team. Another news from Formula 1 is that Helmut Marko, who has been going around and talking a lot about Daniel Ricciardo and also Sergio Perez, has now cleared the air about the whole situation. To give a little context, what happened was Daniel Ricciardo, who went out of McLaren and rejoined Red Bull as their third driver, is now getting to test the car in 3 tests at Silverstone, which is basically a tire test, but it has been reported that Helmut Marko and the rest of the team, including Christian Horner, are trying to rope in Daniel Ricciardo in place of Checo Perez, or else, in other words, they have kept Daniel Ricciardo as a third driver as a warning to Checo Perez if he does not perform well, that he will be replaced by Danny Ric. But now Helmut Marko has cleared the air and said that a lot of his quotes and a lot of his statements were taken out of context when it comes to Daniel Ricciardo and Sergio Perez and where he stands. Helmut Marko did talk about Checo a lot and said that although he hasn't been doing too well compared to last year or the beginning of this season, but Checo needs to refocus, and that he's the first driver to survive alongside Max for 2 seasons. So I think that's great news for Checo, but there is another Formula 1 news and a new report or a valuation analysis by Sportico has revealed that Ferrari is the most valuable F1 team in the current season. The valuation analysis came by Sportico, of course, and it named the top teams who were valuated according to their stock prices, etc. So they named Ferrari as the #1 team, although Ferrari hasn't been doing too well for the past a lot of years, well, to be fair, and although Ferrari hasn't been doing too well in Formula 1, they have a huge legacy behind themselves. They have huge funding as well as a huge company backing them. So it's no surprise that Ferrari is the most valued F1 team. The #2 team that is behind Ferrari is Mercedes. At #3 comes Red Bull, and at #4 it is McLaren. Ferrari and Mercedes have made, according to the analysis by Sportico, Ferrari and Mercedes have made the most operating profit in 2022, with McLaren and Aston Martin and Alpine following behind. Well, that is it for the news, and also we have learnt at Sports Today that an Apex Council meeting of BCCI will be held very soon regarding to a lot of numerous important things when it comes to retired players joining overseas franchise leagues, the new women's head coach, the chief selectors, and other various important topics that have been going around for a while now. But that is it for the morning wrap. I will see you soon. Thank you for joining me. Like, share and subscribe to Sports Today. Tap the bell icon and don't forget to download the SportsTech app.